1:16:24 in the tent. It's been really cold this week, and it is now snowing. Yay! I'm just sitting in the tent. It wasn't that cold. Well, I wasn't that cold last night. It was cold. It was probably around between 20 and 25 degrees. But I wore these gloves. These are like skiing gloves that I bought a while ago. I think it was last year. There's a ski shop in Hamilton, and they do sales in the spring and right before winter to get rid of older merchandise and bring in new stuff. And those gloves were like $85 gloves that were 50% off, and I bought them for like $40. And I wore those last night to keep my hands warm, and the only thing that really got a little bit cold was my feet, but I slept really good. So I'm surprised it took me that long to figure out that I should wear gloves on my hands. I usually just tuck them up close to my body to keep warm while I'm sleeping, but I move around, so if the hand falls anywhere close to a blanket or outside a blanket, then the cold just begins to cut through it and I wake up. So those help me sleep good. I'm gonna probably work on securing the A-frame out here a little bit better. I ran out of twine last time. It's holding up pretty good now. You can see there some snow. Snow on the other side here. It's falling on the sides of the tent, and as long as it's not crushing the tent, I'm happy. So just sitting out here thinking I'm gonna get caught up on blogs and work and things that I need to do. Just keep in mind that the blogs are like a rough draft. I just try to document as I go. I don't write everything. When I write the book for this project, I will edit and I will expound and go deeper into my experience and some of the facts about what's happening in this country with people becoming homeless. I was thinking about calling the book Homeless 366 Tents Across America, because although I'm staying within the Massachusetts area mainly, this is a national thing that's happening. So keep you posted on that. I don't know, I've just been thinking a lot in my tent. I spend a lot of time outside here. I'm in the woods. I'm in the tent that collapsed and I resurrected. The tent that I put together with an A-frame next to Mike, he has been staying in there because his zipper broke on his tent. And anything that happens, Michael gets very upset. He gets very animated. And usually he loves God and Jesus and things. And then, to not go too deep into it, he was really upset and was cursing the Lord and cursing. So he goes back and forth. So it's good that I was able to build that tent out there, because now he has another place that he can be safe and stay warm. It's really difficult, being homeless, and I understand that my situation's a little different than others, and I do have more resources and things, but I do get to see what it's like over time, and being outside and being homeless, what it does to a person, and it's not good. It's not a good thing. So I guess this experience has put a lot of things in perspective for me as to who we are as a society, right? Like, we're just people. We have animal bodies, and I learn this more and more every day. Like, the body is a machine. I eat candies out here like Snickers and Reese's. Those are my favorite. I drink orange juice, as you can see, because it helps me fight cold. I take a 1,000 milligram vitamin C tablet every day because I need that to help my immune system. And you feel the functioning of the body, especially in the cold. Like right now, I'm warming up my other hand because holding this phone, my hand's cold. So the body, the body runs off of sugar. Sugar is the fuel of the body. If the body was an engine, you have to think that, the gasoline would be sugar. Like water is the lubricant, it's the coolant. It regulates the body so that it can operate. And then you have, obviously you need the oxygen for the fuel to burn. We need the oxygen. So you got sugar, oxygen, water for the body just to run and function properly. Without those things, the body will break down pretty quickly. And then you have other nutrients and vitamins that help, the body repair itself, like proteins, different vitamins, vitamin C for your immune system, salts, things of that nature. But what's tantamount is having things that are sugar or turn into sugar, like carbohydrates. Even proteins can be broken down into sugars, but it's just the body has to work harder to do that. It has to change the protein into a sugar. And we have all the fats and oils and things, which also get broken down into sugar to fuel the body. So what I found is that when I'm out here, I'm not craving meals or anything else. I crave sugar, candy, because it gives me quick energy, which helps keep my body warm. Especially the Snickers bars. Snickers bars last a little bit longer, and they're hard to eat when they're frozen because it's like hard as a rock. But then you have the Reese's, which are like just quick little bursts of energy and warmth. So just being able to keep the body fueled at all times. Like some of the things I do have going for me out here being in the cold is I'm heavy. I weigh 230 pounds. I don't have addiction issues. One thing I shouldn't be doing is vaping as I do, because it restricts my blood vessels. The nicotine is mild stimulant. It's not really good for you. I take caffeine as well as an alternative to like the amphetamine type drugs that people take for ADHD. So that helps me. It helps get me going, keep my mind focused instead of just bouncing around. So that's it. And I understand with Michael and how he struggles is number one, he struggles with alcoholism. Alcohol thins your blood, which is going to make you colder. And it also, you become dependent on it. It's not good for your body, especially in large doses. And it contributes to an unhealthy mental state, anxiety, depression. It affects your nervous system negatively, obviously. So, I definitely worry about him. And I know I've said it before, but I can't say enough about having a positive mental state. Human beings are extremely resilient, and we can get through a lot of things if we have a positive mental state and we work towards having the supplies we need being prepared. I think when people focus on the negative, that contributes to a state of degradation, because you're not really focusing on taking care of yourself and loving yourself. in a sense, so that you have the things that you need to get by. A few people that have been homeless or are homeless have expressed to me the experience of falling into this state of being destitute within society and not having any type of severe addictions. For whatever reason, they end up without a home, and then being in the street, they end up taking on bad habits like a lot of other people have in the streets. Heavy drinking, drug use, toxic relationships. I see a lot of different, shifting relationships within people that live in like the tent city and things. And, it is desirable to have another warm body in the tent. Because if you've got two people in a tent, you're going to be more warm than if you got one person in a tent. So, a hard life, difficult situation can contribute to bad habits and addictions, and it can rise up. So I guess it's these cycles that I've studied, and I see the cycles play out on this level, on this playing field. And it's understandable. Like, a lot of people have different prejudices and stigmas towards people that are homeless or out in the street, or aren't able to fall into this whole kind of American capitalistic system successfully. Like there's something wrong with you. There's something, you can't make it work. You can't have a job. Something wrong with you. It's not so much that there's something wrong with the person, because they're like all people have different issues and problems and struggles. We all suffer on some level. I think the problem is with the systems. And it's going to be good, I feel, as this project progresses, to take a look at other societies that don't have issues like homelessness and things of that nature. Because if people are living out in the street, they're not dangerous. Society has deemed them as someone that can live within society. So if they're going to have to be out there living amongst people in society, they should have the things that they need to survive. If society can't provide them with a roof over their head and they have to live in tents and things, they should be able to live in that tent comfortably enough where they're not suffering and continuing to chase after unhealthy things that are going to end up killing them. So I don't know if I mentioned this, but one idea for the name of the book would be Homeless 366 Tents Across America. I think I did say that, but yeah, because that's what we're going to see. As this trend continues, we're going to see tents across America. I think a lot of the problem in society is, and the name of my company is Identify Society, is that people have such high regard for themselves. They have high opinions of who and what they are and how they fit into nature. Well, the reality is we're not all that special. We just have a propensity for building and creating because we're highly intelligent. We also have a propensity for destruction, and we're greedy and we're hoarders. We don't want to suffer, and we're smart enough to figure out ways to alter nature so that we can alleviate suffering for ourselves. But we end up causing suffering for each other, and that's a problem. If you look at like all the ancient shields, well, ancient, but through history and like the medieval times and going back. Oh, there goes a snow right off of the thing right there. Nice. My A-frame's working. you'll see the shields of all these majestic predators, like hawks and lions and eagles, and you'll see all these like majestic animals, that we like to associate with our lineage. But in reality, one of the closest animal to human beings with like the most similarities and likenesses is the rat. Human beings are like rats. We have about 97% similarity in working DNA with rats. So, and our common ancestor going all the way back was probably, that sprung out the primates, was a tree-living rodent-like creature. Our behavior is very similar to rats. Rats have similar nervous systems. Like their organ systems they breed similar to us. Their reproductive system. They eat the same food that we do, and they live in the same way. They're survivors. Depending on catastrophe and over time. Rats, whatever happens to this planet or whatever we do to it, rats will probably outlive us. They are very intelligent for an animal. So, yeah, if you were going to put an animal on your shield that would have been accurate for what we are as people and what we represent, we're like rats. That's what we're like. So if people want to augment their looks and be obsessed with who they are, and think that they're all that in a bag of chips, I think it's best to just consider the fact that in the animal kingdom, we're just like really smart rats taking over the world, and that is what it is. So our place in the universe is small, and if we're going to be as fucking smart as we are, then maybe we should take more time and more care for nature and for our own people. That's my thought. And I've put a lot of thought into this as well as I ramble on here, that what's nature's point? Like, if nature is intelligent and directs towards more life, more understanding, more advancement, like people say evolution is blind, but in my mind, if it wasn't, I think the idea, like the natural idea, like an idea beyond like what we think, but the idea in general of human beings taking on such a huge role in this planet's development would be for the purpose of expansion beyond the planet. Human beings have the potential and the ability at this stage to spread life to another floating rock in the solar system. And if life could spring up on that rock and develop, then we could spread life to another rock, another floating rock out in space. So, in the grand scheme of things, we are a spore of life, spreading life from one place to the next. And I'm sure this has happened multiple times within our universe, unbeknownst to us because we're not that advanced yet. And if life were to develop this way, and this is kind of a textbook development, then not only developing towards technical advancement, but improving life for not only all of life on this planet, but for each other, so that we can work towards bringing more life into, these dead rocks that float around in space, I think would be ideal. That's just my thinking. That's me going down like my imaginary rabbit hole. But here I am in the tent, freezing my hands off, and I'm gonna probably do some writing and some work, but I just wanted to drop a quick video for y'all. All right, have a good day.